See, things are looking pretty darn well. Good. That is nice. Hey, if this is your first time checking out the channel, we'd appreciate it if you subscribe. We are getting very, very close to hitting our first major milestone on YouTube, which is 1,000 subscribers. And if you're not aware, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Cole's Farm NC for North Carolina, or you can use the icons in the banner on our YouTube channel. It'll take you right to those pages. But check out the post that I made yesterday. We teamed up with the Hive Butler, and when we reach 12,000 followers on Instagram, I'm gonna select one of the random comments for everybody that left Hive Butler in the comments, and we're gonna be giving away one of their totes and a solid lid. I believe it's about $100 value. Extremely nice lady. They're up in Indiana, I believe. They sent me one of their totes with the solid and the ventilated lid for honey harvesting, for swarm removal. You can use it for a whole bunch of stuff, winter storage. Extremely nice folks. Very grateful that they selected me to test out some of their equipment. Look forward to using that very, very soon, especially when we start pulling some honey frames. I would have liked to use it. I'm sure there's still the opportunity for swarm removal, but looking at the swarm traps coming out to the bee yard and everything, it seems like the swarm season has kind of died down, which I hope is the case now that we're in June, which is why I wanted to share that beekeeping adage with y'all. Definitely don't want to swarm this time of year because it will, for the most part, off track any sort of honey harvest from that colony. So yeah, check out us, or check out our Instagram. Follow that page, subscribe to both our channel and the Hive Butler's channel. Leave Hive Butler in the comments on Instagram, and when we hit 12,000 followers, which is about 200 maybe, about 200 followers off, so probably within the next week, I'm gonna select a random comment using a comment selecting tool, so it's completely fair, and whoever that person is will receive, like I said, one of their totes with a solid lid from the Hive Butler. Alright, that does it for my intro. A little longer than I thought it would go, but nonetheless, let's get into the hives for the 5th inspection of 2021. So it is June 1st, it's about 10 a.m. and with that said, I have a quick beekeeping swarm adage I would like to share with y'all that dates back to the 17th century. So it goes a little something like this. It says, a swarm in May is worth a bale of hay, a swarm in June is worth a silver spoon, and a swarm in July, let it fly. So the whole meaning to that is, if you have a swarm in May, it's worth a little bit, but you can still recover from it. A swarm in June being worth a silver spoon, that is like the last strong month of the nectar flow in most places. So if you have a swarm during June, you're probably not going to have a harvest and you're losing a lot of honey. And then a swarm in July for eastern North Carolina, we are going through a dearth, or we usually go through a dearth then, meaning nothing's in bloom. So just let it fly. It's not worth trying to save a hive from swarming in July. Alright, let's talk about a few weather stats real quick. The Weather Bug app has the temperature at 69 degrees and the humidity at 66%. And our Accurate backyard 5-in-1 weather station, it says it's 74 degrees and 62% humidity, so pretty close to each other. So it's pretty much around 70 degrees and the humidity's in the 60, low to mid 60% range. Okay, so the last inspection was May 16th, which was 16 days ago. So I'm still in my bi-weekly, plus or minus a few days inspection cycle. Last time I supered, I believe I added a super to hive number 1, so I'm looking forward to and anticipating seeing what the bees have done in the last 16 days. I top supered number 4 because they completely filled out a honey super within about 2 weeks, if I have that right. I have supers on quite a few hives, so I'm just very curious to see how they're doing. Managed to kill hive number 5's queen by using the queen excluder. I'm sorry, the queen catcher that I like so much. So I'm anticipating getting into that hive and seeing queen cells, but you know how that might go. So I may have to move a frame or two over from another hive that has day-old eggs to potentially get them queen right. And then last night I had the idea for hive, I think we're calling that number 9, the other 5-frame nuke box that has a medium on the bottom and the deep box up top. So I've been thinking about how can I get them out of this nuke box, if they're ready of course, because I do have a fairly limited amount of equipment left. So because I made a split with a few, I think 3 medium frames that had queen cells before I added the queen excluder. I've explained this quite a few times now. You know, how can I use those medium frames still to get them into a 10-frame box? So I'm thinking I am going to move the 5 frames, if you can see that the medium frames, sorry, on the bottom into one of the 10-frame medium boxes, and then just drop them onto a regular 10-frame bottom board, run it just as a single medium for probably the next 2 weeks or so, and then hopefully I can add a deep, and we'll see how it goes. And the reason I say that is because I added the deep box on top with 5 frames. None of them had drawn wax, so 5 frames with new foundation, and they kind of drew out some wax, but it was really weird looking and not anything exactly useful. And if I remember right, I went back and kind of scraped it down, smushed it around, hoping the bees would use that to draw out more symmetrical honeycomb. Okay, so kind of a rambling inspection intro video. Some nice flight. Got 10 colonies out here in this bee yard. The weather is really nice right now. It's not very windy. The sun's out. Temperatures in the 70s, low 70s. Humidity's pretty nice. Oh yeah, and if you can't tell, I added a whole bunch of natural wood chips from an arborist that I encountered last week in an attempt to get a better grasp on weed control out here. So we'll see how that does over the upcoming weeks and months. Everything's pretty much natural out here anyway, so I don't think that'll cause any problems. Hopefully it won't. But yeah, hey, that's it. This is the 5th inspection of 2021. I'm just looking down the line here, and not on this side, not these 5, but the first single deep with the migratory lid, if you can see that or not. That's got some pretty nice activity on the front of it, and that is the backyard swarm that I caught, I think early April, if I remember right. Or actually, that was the one that swarmed during one of the inspections, and I captured it the same day, and I moved them back and put them in a 10 frame a day or two later. Okay, well, hey, that does it for me. 5th inspection of 2021 on a bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, bi-weekly cycle. I mean, look at that. Like I said, top to bottom, left to right. I mean, just textbook honey super right there.